Well, Future Stars rolls on, and we're going to talk about the Defender's evolution today, and which options you should probably choose, and also a couple more interesting things to talk about, and we have a couple leaks as well to talk about today. So now it was Super Bowl night, so I may have had a drink or three. If I slur my speech, I apologize, but I do want to talk about the Defenders today, because I actually think it's decent, the Defenders that we got in this evolution, and also there's a couple things like long-term outlook for the market I want to talk about today as well. And also, can we fucking get player picks? I mean, Jesus, like, how long has it been since we got player picks? Like 3 weeks, 4 weeks? I mean, what is the deal with player picks? It's not like we're all packing shit all the time, right? So we'll get into everything that we need to today. But if you guys want to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. The link is in the description. Use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. First thing we'll talk about is your best choice for the Defender's evolution. Now, what I will say right off the bat is there are some really, really good center backs here for this evolution, right? Gertruda can play center back. So he's one of the center backs you can also get there. You've got Bayer, you've got Tiate, and you've got Kasunu. So you've got a bunch of center backs to kind of choose from here. Also Eric Garcia as well. I forgot about him. So the reason though I'd kind of rule out center backs almost immediately is because of the fact that Relentless Plus is one of the play styles they're going to get from this evolution, right? So the nice thing is, if you want a center back, you can put almost all of these center backs into the other evolution that is the Team of the Year center back prospect. You can actually put in, I think, like 4 of the center backs in here. Yeah, you can put actually every single one. You can put literally every single one of the center backs into this evolution and get them to have Jockey Plus. So I would just say you might as well pick 2 fullbacks, and then this other free one, pick like this Kasunu center back card. You might as well, right? That's kind of what I feel like you should do there. So right off the bat, I'm probably going to pick 2 fullbacks for this almost immediately. And the 2 fullbacks, I kind of am thinking, well, let's look through a couple of these first and foremost here. Sergio Gomez, which is because of the links and stuff like that. 5-star skill moves. He can play CDM as well, which is, I think, kind of pretty important. Kind of where you'd rather play him, honestly, in this team. I think this is a good card. Honestly, I do. Look at the play styles here. He's got Incisive Pass. That's very nice to have. Jockey Block Plus is okay, really, but Relentless Plus is nice to have as a fullback. I really, really like this as a fullback myself. And a CDM works very well, too. Sergio Gomez, I really like right away there. So basically for me, I'm picking Sergio Gomez, and then after that you can almost pick any fullback that you kind of want to. Honestly, they all kind of look the same. I think Asignol is a pretty good option there too, because of the fact he's French and Premier League. In-game stats are pretty nice. The links are kind of the main thing. Yes, they all get 3 chemistry, but just linking other cards to your team as well will help with that, of course. Now, he's missing a few stats, like long pass, you could say, or even strength and aggression, you could say. He's missing possibly there, but most of these cards have something missing. And also, he has Anticipate, which I think is honestly one of the most important defending play styles to have. So really, to me, what I would do here is pick Sergio Gomez and then pick one of the rest of these you think is either better or just better links for your team. That's kind of what I would pick. And I just personally wouldn't pick a center back. That's just what I think your best option will be. I'll probably end up picking Sergio Gomez and Zvava. I think it's how you say her name there, because of the fact Real Madrid links. Jazz technical, press proven, even aerial there. The in-game stats are pretty nice. Every card you pick here is kind of going to be missing something possibly. I like the 5-star skills, kind of why I pick maybe her there. But really, there's trade-offs to all these cards. So kind of just pick whatever you think is the best one there. But I'd definitely go for Sergio Gomez first and foremost, probably out of all of them. It's kind of what I would pick, and I'm really interested to see what other ones we're going to get, because obviously we have a 2-week Future Stars promo. So transitioning now into kind of what we can expect for the next week of Future Stars is kind of this. So what we saw with the market here, if we go to the index 100, to kind of see where the market's at, right? It's dropping quite a bit right now. We can look at the top losers, and it's almost all defenders, right? Olga Carmona, Kasunu, Bompastor, Lamptey, even though he's Future Stars, Elia Meek, Mukiele, right? All these cards are all losers, mainly because they're just replacing cards in teams, or they're getting replaced, sorry. These Future Stars Evos are replacing these kinds of lower end fullbacks in teams, right? My guess would be we'll see probably more of these in the second team. They'll either be attackers and defenders again, or we could possibly get midfielders for this next team as well. What I would say you kind of need to look out for with this is just basically any card that's kind of under 100k, maybe between 50 to 100,000 coins. That is a card that's toward the end of the power curve, like Olga Carmona, now 74,000, like Mukiele, right? 70,000 coins there. These types types of cards could really see big drops. Mukiele saw a 30% dip. He's down, 100,000, or from 100K, sorry, down to 70,000, right? 108,000 there just on Saturday because of all these Evos dropping, replacing cards and teams, right? Kind of the way to prepare for this is I would assume we'll get more of these. Is any card that's like 150K or less, you probably want to sell, I'll be honest with you, because I would expect to see a couple more of these, honestly. And I know they're not the most insane cards ever, but literally every single card in the top losers that you see that is not a gold card that's fodder is a defender that is being replaced in teams right now. So the high-end market probably will be fine for the time being because I don't really expect Future Stars Team 2 to even really fuck with that top-end market because I just don't know what will. I don't know anything that can really mess with it because we'll need cheaper, insane cards. And right now, the Garnacho pack weight, let's actually go look at that quick because I'm not going to lie, the Garnacho and Doku pack weight was actually worse today than it was yesterday, which is insane to say. Let's go and look because I saw today there was 5 on the market when I looked one point. Maybe it was glitched. That could have been the case, but I swear to you, I saw 5 on the market. Let's go and look at this Garnacho here. So, no, right now is a page and a hat. Well, one page. Basically, one page right now of Garnachos. Shows you that the pack weight for the top-end cards has not changed. Let's go look at Doku now. It's the same type of thing, right? The supply of these cards is not... I mean, there's literally 7, 8 on the market at a time. So, the supply of these top-end cards is just not there. And yes, that's not too much of a surprise, but at the same time, even if cards are 2 million coins in previous promos, there will be more of them on the market. So what that means is really the high-end market is probably relatively okay, and the low-end market will see more of a dip if more Evos come out. If not, if no Evos come out during this entire second week, I wouldn't expect that, but if that were to happen, then yeah, you'd probably be fine, but I wouldn't expect that. It's kind of the market rundown that I've got for you right now, is that the pack weight is really good on the lower end of Future Stars cards, and the higher end is just basically Team of the Year pack weight. You're not going to pack them, and yes, like I said before, higher end cards, 2 million coin cards, you're not going to expect to have good pack weight, but in previous promos in years past, and really up until like the last couple months, they've been way more supplied than they have been for these last couple promos. So anyway, we got this player pick that came out today, 86 plus base heroes, really. Triple threat, UCL, and Women's Champions League Heroes player pick. So 1 of 4, which is kind of nice. It's relatively cheap, 84, 86, not terrible. But having base heroes in here, like I bet half the player picks have only base heroes in this pick, which means that it's virtually useless. Of course, like any gamble pick, you can get lucky, but I don't get the base heroes in the middle of February. That makes no sense to me because they were pretty much useless after October because of the way the power curve works in this game, right? And I saw a couple tweets today that actually we're gonna go look at right now. And Josh tweeted out saying the problem EA have created this year is that for committed players, if a player does not push one of the below 11 out, they are useless. That is an unachievable standard to set, but has been caused by terrible SPC management. There needs to be a reason to use other players, and this is not wrong. Any of these guys in starting 11 here, if they don't replace them, they're not like a super sub, they're pretty much useless. And the argument you'll hear some people make with that claim is that, well, you can use anybody in Div Rivals that you want to. You can go and use your favorite team, like a best 11 of your favorite team, and no one's stopping you from doing that, right? And that is in one hand true. However, EA had this game set up to where the game modes in this game basically force you to win every single game and treat every single game like your life depends on it, right? They want that because of the fact that they want you to go to the store. I've said this a million times. If you're familiar with the channel, you watch the channel regularly, you've heard me say this before a million times. But the game modes in this game are hands down the biggest problem with this game. Obviously ignoring the EA greed, right? Because that's a whole nother, like, part of the problem here. But other than that, the game modes being as bad as they are, by far, affect every other aspect of this game in ways people do not realize. Every SBC, every pack, every card that comes out that does not possibly push one of these cards out of these teams, people will say, not that great. And that is a giant problem. And in my opinion, what's one way to solve this? Well, they can make a Gold Cup tournament type game mode that you can play as many times as you want to, that the requirements change up, maybe even once a day, possibly a few times a week. The requirements change up, and every SBC then, say that Coach SBC that came out, this SBC means much more to complete when a Gold Cup for a couple days comes out, and the requirements are, hey, none of the top 5 leagues, any of those players you can use. It's only outside the top 5 leagues you can use. And say maybe icons and heroes don't count as well. So after that, this coach becomes the best center back you can use in the Gold Cup for like 3 days. You can play it as many times as you want. Untradeable rewards, that's fine. Just make them somewhat decent. Sure, why not? Yes, it'll be sweaty in some ways because every game mode will turn sweaty in some ways. It's how it's going to work, but it makes for a much more fun and casual, enjoyable experience than you had before. In Division Rivals and FUT Champ, these game modes that are just so worn out by now. Nobody gives a shit about Division Rivals anymore because it's been the same for 4 years, and we've had no new game modes for 5 years. Besides Moments, of course. Let's not forget Moments. That does exist. But since Div Rivals in 2021, I think FIFA 21 was the first year of Div Rivals, there's been no changes to any game mode that's online in this game since. And that is purely unacceptable with the way the game modes are set up in this game. I mean, it's unacceptable. This guy says, facts, I'm looking at future stars and just thinking it's Ronaldinho or bust. I mean, that is not how these promos should be at all. In one sense, that's perfect for them because they're thinking, well, to upgrade your team, you better get 6 million coins. Otherwise, you're not upgrading your team, which is perfect for EA because in one hand, they want you to spend a bunch of money just by, you know, opening 7.5K packs because that's how it's probably one of the best ways to actually earn coins, like value for money wise. But in 7.5K packs, you're not going to pack anything huge. So it's perfect for them. All of the way to set this up is basically just to funnel you through the store and open tradable packs to earn up your way to get coins, or open untradable packs to hopefully have a 0.00001% to pack a Ronaldinho untradable. They don't care about the rest of these fodder cards. They're just ploys to get you to open packs to get the big ones, right? That's all they are. So I really do say it a lot, but I cannot stress enough the way this game is going with these game modes. There's a reason everyone's so bored with this game all the time is because these game modes are fucking terrible. They are some of the worst I've ever seen in gaming. That might sound hyperbolic, but I promise you, it's actually not. It's actually how I feel. And I know Inception and has talked about this a million times, but I feel the exact same way. So first of all, though, pundit picks. We're getting another one of these because I guess they decided to pick one, I suppose. DePaul is come out today or tomorrow, I think. We'll see how good he is, but for some reason, the 2 pundit picks we've gotten, I think have both been one of the better evolutions that have come out later on, like a couple weeks later. So maybe that'll be the case again. I don't know, but DePaul is coming out. It's really the only leak we've got right now. And also the 86 plus hero player pick, they did not compensate at all yet, and they've re-released it. It said 87 plus, I think in some languages. It might have even been English, honestly. It might have even been, I don't remember, but it's been like 2 weeks since then, and they have not had any update on compensation, and they re-released the player pick again. So when will that come out? Don't ask me. It might take 2 more weeks, fuck if I know, but also SBCs right now are continuing to drop a ton. I would recommend, if you want to do an SBC right now, a George Best, a Cafu, a Claudia Pina, this might be one of the better times to do it because I do expect there to be a rebound on some fodder once we get more SBCs out that are more in demand. Because I would expect us to get 1 Future Stars SBC that's like super doable, and some upgrade packs or gamble packs as well for us to get. So I would expect us to see, you know, some of these like 85s, 86s, 87s, 88s, 89s even possibly rise back up. Also 84s, if you bought for 1.3 thousand, congratulations. I'm gonna sell mine soon. They're 3K. I bought 100 of them and I'm gonna make like 2K each right now, including lazy selling. So good job. We made a bunch of coins on that. Let's get into your comments before I tip over. Shafa 2010 says, Pina is definitely doable. In fact, she's one of the best shots I've used on an engine. She moves very nicely too. The reason I'm reading this out is because I want to reiterate to you guys that play styles are the most important thing to look at in this entire game. Finesse shot, incisive pass, 2 crazy good play styles. I almost don't even care what her in-game stats look like, even though they're very good. 95 finishing, really good dribbling, 90 short passing, whatever. I don't even care about that. Incisive pass, finesse shot, 2 fantastic play style pluses. That means so much more than anything, and I'm hearing huge, great things about Claudia Pina, and I think that you need to all remember playstyle pluses are some of the most important things to look at on a card, easily, not even close. At Joseph said, I'm not gonna lie, you guys are tripping. This is one of the better promos of the year. So far, great SBCs, great cheap cards and expensive ones, and great evolutions. I don't know how you guys can complain. If they truly wanted to, they could release nothing for the rest of the year. And the comments were kind of majority on like, I'm not really liking it side, but there were definitely some where people did like it. And I think there are some promos that are better for the casuals. and maybe not so much for the hardcore players, right? And I think that's kind of okay. We can accept that for sure. I just sort of wish they would give, if they're gonna make a promo like for the casuals, right? I wish they would throw a bone to the hardcore players, but they don't do that in this game. The hardcore players are nothing to them. They really don't give a shit about you. And there are definitely things in this promo that you can say are good. I mean, 100%. These Defender Evos are very, very good with stats-wise. Yes, Block Plus is not the best, but like, oh well. These Defender Evos are very good, and I think we gotta give credit for them. We gotta give credit where it's due sometimes, 1,000,000%. But I do think there are some ways where they could improve this and make it way better. And I kind of agree, Joseph, like, this is one of the better promos of the year. However, I don't necessarily know if that makes it a great promo. Does that make sense? It's kind of my opinion. Maybe like I said, I can be being very cynical. I definitely could be. At Philly B says, I like this 12-year-old kid. Thanks. Thanks. At Igoris says, try Brabe. He is top 5 big striker. The low will not affect him. I bring this up because who did you guys pick for the attackers Evo? If you've like played the games for them already, you upgraded them already. Who's the best attacker that I should pick? I've not picked anybody yet. I was thinking about probably picking Okafor, honestly. Brabe has good stats. It's just the low, right? That's the only real problem with him. So if you've used the attacker Evo, let me know who you've picked, because I want to hear what you guys think is like the best player to choose there. And Defender too, let me know who you guys have picked for the Defender Evo as well. But I think that is going to be it today. Any questions you guys have, leave a comment. Thank you for watching every day. I love all of you. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Peace.